Okay, this is the Grumpy Old Gamer, and in this video, I'm going to try to show you, um, as an old man, what type of mission combat games I like. The name of this video is called An Hour and 24. It's not an hour and 24 minutes long, but my mission was an hour and 24 minutes long. It's in the game called Rise of Flight, and here I am taking off in a Brandenburg seaplane. My mission is to fly from German occupied Belgium down to the front, just north of Dunkirk, and take photographs of the swampy frontline area and a couple of bridges. And then my secondary uh, mission is to locate a train deep in France and take it out if I can. But I know today people want instant action and lots of explosions and gunfights, but I guess maybe with old age I get a little bit more mellow. I really enjoy the kind of simulator experience that Rise of Flight offers. If you put all the just getting this plane off the ground, by the way, is not an easy task, and getting it up to altitude, you have to adjust fuel mixtures and things like that. A lot of people hate that stuff, but I like the idea of I have to fly to Dunkirk, maybe about 100 kilometers, and I actually have to fly it. There's no autopilot, no fast travel, and I have to fly and look and scan and navigate with my little compass and follow canals. And this mission right now, I'm flying towards the port in German-occupied Belgium, where I'm going to have to land if I complete my mission, to deliver the photographs. And here I am flying over it now, and I believe I put a little arrow in the video to show the actual shipping channel I have to land in when it's complete. I'm flying over the city now. I do have the name of it. It's a real city. I don't remember it. Yeah, there's the canal where I have to land right there alongside that ship. But as for now, I am going to have to literally fly the whole way to the front. So I'm going to let the video play, and if you want to fast forward to the next time I talk, you can see. But I really like the idea that I'm on the mission, and I have to do the mission, whatever that entails, all the flight and navigating and maintaining the engines and speed and make sure I don't overheat and things like that. And I still think this game is absolutely beautiful for coming out in 2009. Okay, here we go. Uh, 22 minutes in. I've been playing at this point for 22 minutes, and I think the developer did something really cool here. When I pull out, you can see this kind of gray swatch swampy area in the distance. That's the front lines. I'm coming up on the front lines. And I think the developer did a fantastic job of making you feel it's realistic. You'll come from this green area that I'm flying over now. I'm following this canal below me. I know that'll take me to my target, and the arrow's pointing to the front. When you get over the front, it's gray. It's pockmarked. You'll start seeing artillery shells hitting the ground and sometimes trace around. So it really gives you a feel that you're flying over a front line. It's kind of cool to think in a way too that this Belgian front, I think he was about maybe a couple hundred meters east. There was a German corporal fighting down there named Adolf Hitler. But the game to me really gives a sense of realism because you're actually doing all aspects of the actual mission. But in an hour and 24 minutes, there was maybe 5 minutes of actual combat time, and I know a lot of people bored to death by that. But if you watch the video, you say just an artillery shell went off beneath my plane. You'll start seeing you're coming to the front. You'll see the jagged lines where the trenches are dug in, and I'm going to fly over this swampy area of the front, film the bridges, and then I'm going to go to my secondary target deep in France and try to locate a train, which is brutally difficult. You don't have radar, GPS. You have to actually fly to the target area. I'll explain to it when I get there, but I'll let the mission play out again. If you want to fast forward to the next time, that's fine. again, I had to tell you how cool I think the front line is, seeing the explosions going off beneath me. Sometimes you'll see tanks, and like I said, trace when you see smoke in the distance to let you know you're over a front line. And the ground again looks like the surface of the moon with craters. And I believe I'm coming up on the village and the set of bridges I have to photograph. And it just, like I said, to me, it gives a sense of realism that you're not just flying over terrain at this point, you're flying over a place where men are living, dying, and suffering. And I believe, yes, there's the two bridges. And I'm going to, the game kind of auto photographs. But literally, you can complete the objective just by visually flying over, like you're taking the information down and you report to the commanders. Remember, this is 1917, so we're talking about, yes, he's taking photo. We're talking about very minimal technology. So sometimes the pilot would just come back and say, hey, the bridge is blown up. That's your intelligence. I think here I veer off a little bit, and just for fun, I straight the British line. I'm pretty sure it's the British fun. And we just fire a few rounds, and that'll come into play later on. The ammo that I wasted, just messing around shooting at the front lines. But right after that, I'm going to go to my secondary mission, heading south deeper into France to locate a train. And most people would be bored to death by that, flying over the countryside and trying to find a train with nothing other than your eyeballs. So we'll see what happens when I get there, if I can find it. Okay, 53 minutes in, I did my photo reconnaissance mission. Now I'm deep in France looking for the train, and got a very wide area to search, and sometimes it's hard to tell roads from railroad tracks. And the game does a very good job of, like most railroad tracks, will intersect or pass through cities, which I assume was probably realistic at the time. So you have to actually search for the railroad track. Now, if you want, there is a mini map you could put up to make it easier. You know, a little mini map on the side of the screen can refer to it. But I really prefer just flying around trying to look for the railroad tracks, and then once you find the railroad tracks, you have another dilemma: which way is the train on the railroad tracks? Is it to the east, to the west, to the south? So you just start following the railroad tracks and hope you get lucky. So that's what my next, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of just searching. Again, I think most young people would want to kill themselves because there was no rockets and missiles and explosions and things of that nature. But I think here, yep, see here, I kind of recognize that as a railroad bridge. So I'm pretty sure those are railroad tracks. I dive down. But again, I know there's railroad tracks, but that doesn't mean that there's a train there. So I have to decide, do I follow the trains east or do I go west? In this case, I happen to choose west towards the town, and I'm pretty sure it pays off since I know. But to me, absolutely fantastic that you can make your own decision and never find your target, which I'm sure happened a lot in real life, especially in those days. So I'm flying over the town, hoping that following the railroad tracks will bring me to my target. And I don't think it's too far ahead. Yes, did I spot through the trees? Yes, I see smoke. But I got lucky. I turned the right way on the railroad tracks. If I had gone the other way, I would have gone away from the train. There's the arrow pointing to my target. So now it's just a matter of moving in and strafing it. Which in this plane, it's a seaplane. It's not very good for dogfighting. It's good for photo reconnaissance and maybe some strafing. But with them big canoes underneath it, you do not want to get into a dogfight with it. I mean, it can, but it's you go inverted, you're going to be in a big mess with this thing. So here I am moving in on the train. And I tell you the truth, I usually die more on strafing missions than I do on dogfight missions. I just have a tendency to get too low and slam into trees and the ground. So, and I heard that they were actually some of the most dangerous missions in So here I am peppering off some rounds with the train. And he's got light, I forget what caliber machine guns he has, but they're not 50 calibers. Ooh, he's carrying a tank. That's a good train to stop at this point in the war. Damn British and their tanks. So I'm going to make a few passes, maneuver around, and see if I can get that bastard. See him off in the distance. And I think flying in this game is absolutely the best. I mean, other than Microsoft Flight Simulator, I don't really play anymore. I love this game so much. I can't even, thousands of hours in it. Maybe I'm nuts. The game is great. Terrible business model with the DLC, but I just can't stop playing this game. I'd say it's in my top 3. Okay, the train crossed the bridge. I figure I catch him on the other side. I like to get him in an area with less trees, but what are you gonna do? Move in. And what I do here is I get lucky. And one of my shots obviously uncoupled the locomotive from the rest of the cargo trains. So the locomotive speeding off, and the locomotive is the important target. You want to get the locomotive at least, so I go back to get him. I like that on a few occasions. My rear gunner, the AI, if he's lined up, he'll take a few shots at it. But coming around again to get the locomotive, and again, you can't see it, but at this point I'm actually adjusting mixture controls and stuff to turn. This plane can slam him around, the carburetor, burp and fart. It's quite hard to fly at higher difficulties. Here it comes, line up the shot, trees ahead, I'm mighty close, and I got him. There he is, locomotive gone. So my secondary mission has been complete. And I figure now that we have the other freight cars disabled and not being moved, I'll use the rest of my ammunition on them, and then head back home. To be honest, I can't remember if I actually get the freight trains or not. Old man, stuff's going. So I follow the track back to where the cars uncoupled. Actually, my last round was fired right there. These guns don't carry lots of ammunition. I did some damage. I got the locomotive. I can't see if I got the tank. I don't know if I did. So now it's time to head home. Should be easy, right? I flew here no problem. Now I just have to fly home and land in the harbor and give my information. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, an hour and 24 minutes in. There's my landing location. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm almost done. It was uneventful other than for some strafing and a little light AA fire over the front, which really never got close to me. But all of a sudden now, there's a British Newport on my ass. And that ain't good in this plane. The Newport is at the time, was the king of dogfighting. So I'm in some pretty rough shape here. I have no ammo. So my rear gunner, all I can do is try to put my rear gunner in a position to shoot at him. But I figure at this point, I'm a kilometer away from my landing strip, so I'm just going to dive in and try to land. But that Newport really peppers me here a few times. And I ended up taking some rudder damage, which I didn't quite know at the time. So just trying to avoid him and get on the ground so I can complete my mission. He got mighty close to me there, and my rear gunner's trying to keep him off me. But just gonna make that turn, cut the engines, and dive in. Ooh. Alright, so here we go. There's the channel I have to land in. I'm coming in definitely a little too fast. But I've done it before with this plane. It handles it pretty well usually if it's not damaged. But here I go. Still being shot at. And this is where I learned my rudder isn't working. So I can't get out of the spin. And I'm dead. So an hour and 24 minutes. My mission was a failure. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic experience. And that's the type of stuff we old folks like, man. I thought it was great. So I don't know if you'd like that type of stuff. Maybe you need missiles and explosions and shit, but this was everything I play a video game for right here.